Let's begin with an undeniable truth. Human connection thrives on both the body and the heart. When we talk about sexual health and wellness, it is not just about technique, strength, or performance. It is about the way two people can unlock not only physical pleasure, but also emotional release through the most natural and time-honored forms of sexual connection. One of the most overlooked yet powerful is missionary lovemaking. For some, it seems too simple, for others too traditional. But when you strip away the noise of what's trendy and what's sensationalized, you discover that Missionary offers one of the most complete experiences for couples who want to strengthen their bond, release deep emotions, and create waves of satisfaction that linger far beyond the moment. The physical science behind missionary pleasure. Let's start with what happens physically. Missionary allows the bodies to align closely, chest to chest, breath to breath, eye to eye. This alignment is not accidental, it is purposeful. The closeness stimulates more than just the obvious erogenous zones. The pressure of skin-to-skin contact activates nerve endings across the chest, abdomen, and thighs, amplifying sensitivity. In this position, the angle of penetration often hits areas of the vagina that heighten arousal. When the hips are tilted slightly, the clitoris can be more easily stimulated through friction and movement, leading to stronger orgasms. For men, the sensation is equally intensified because the tight alignment and depth allow for a more powerful physical release. What we have here is not just sex for pleasure, it is sex that awakens the body's natural design for connection. Why emotional release happens in this position? The physical satisfaction is only half the story. The real magic of missionary is the emotional release it creates. Think about it. Eye contact, breathing in sync, kissing while moving together. These moments activate oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone, which directly influences feelings of love, safety, and attachment. When a woman feels secure in her partner's closeness, her body relaxes. That relaxation allows deeper arousal and a more open release of emotions. Some women cry after orgasm, not out of sadness, but from the sheer flood of oxytocin and dopamine colliding in the nervous system. Missionary lovemaking makes that more likely because the emotional safety and physical closeness are built right into the position itself. For men too, this isn't just about climax. The chance to look into a partner's eyes while releasing sexually creates a grounding sense of being wanted, being accepted, and being fully present. In a world where men are often taught to suppress emotions, missionary lovemaking provides a pathway for emotional expression without words. Connection beyond the bedroom. Now let's look at what happens outside the sheets. Couples who regularly engage in missionary sex often report feeling more connected during daily life. Why? Because the hormones released in those moments of sexual closeness do not vanish the second it's over. They carry into conversation, conflict resolution, and affection throughout the day. Imagine starting your morning or ending your evening with a sexual experience that leaves you both calm, bonded, and reassured of your place in each other's lives. That's not trivial. That's the foundation of a relationship that lasts through challenges. Breaking the misconceptions. There's a misconception floating around that missionary is boring or vanilla. That could not be further from the truth. Boring sex does not come from positions, it comes from disconnection. You can twist into the most acrobatic positions, but if the heart is not involved, the act will always feel empty. Missionary allows variation too. Slow and sensual, deep and rhythmic, gentle kissing or intense holding. It adapts to the energy of the moment. What makes it powerful is not the complexity of movement, but the intensity of closeness. General wellness and sexual health benefits. From a medical perspective, missionary sex has clear wellness advantages because it encourages steady movement and face-to-face breathing. It lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. It improves circulation, strengthens pelvic muscles, and even helps regulate sleep cycles by boosting serotonin and oxytocin. Urologically, men benefit from improved blood flow and reduced performance anxiety due to the calming hormonal effects. For women, the increased vaginal lubrication and pelvic muscle engagement improve long-term sexual health, reducing discomfort and enhancing arousal over time. What this tells us is that missionary is not just about pleasure in the moment, it's about building a healthier body and a more balanced mind through repeated sexual connection. Practical tips to deepen the experience. Now let's get practical. To make missionary sex the most rewarding, focus on eye contact. Don't underestimate the power of looking at each other during movement. It turns sex into a conversation without words. Breathing together. Sync your breathing. Let the rise and fall of your bodies guide rhythm and closeness. Hand placement, hold hands, touch the face, grip the back. These small points of contact amplify emotional release. Variation in pace. Switch between slow, deliberate thrusts and faster movements. This builds waves of tension and release. Communication. Whisper, moan, or guide your partner. These sounds and words build reassurance and arousal at the same time. These simple shifts turn what some dismiss as ordinary into extraordinary. The bigger picture, we live in a culture that often separates sex from love, body from heart. Missionary challenges that separation by reminding us that the deepest sexual release happens when body and heart collide. It shows us that sex is not only about physical gratification, but also about creating a safe space where two people can release fear, stress, and even unspoken emotions. And when that happens, relationships grow. Mental health improves, confidence rises. The body heals through pleasure. This is not just personal, it is wellness in its most human form. Call to action. So here's the challenge. Stop underestimating the power of missionary sex. Stop labeling it as basic and start embracing it as a pathway to both sexual pleasure and emotional freedom. Tonight or the next time you connect with your partner, focus less on novelty and more on presence. Look into their eyes. Feel their heartbeat against yours. Allow yourself to release, not just physically, but emotionally. Because at the end of the day, the deepest sexual release is not about chasing a new position. It is about choosing connection, presence, and the courage to fully let go in each other's arms. Thank you.